Hey, everybody, welcome back to Open for Business. And you know what? Sometimes I just got to bring you a cool product, right? And today's product, you're going to say to me, John, how is this cool? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to grab it from the guy right here. His name is KASEY, and this thing is called the Best Brush. And let me tell you what, folks, I'm going to open it. KASEY, can I open
by all
this
means,
up?
by all means, open
I'm
it
going
up.
to open this up. You know, normally I like an unboxing as much as the next
It's
guy.
almost like Christmas.
It is. Let me look at this bad boy, right? So this thing right here makes it where you don't have to dip anymore, which this probably will make me kind of like painting.
Oh,
I hate painting. My wife loves to paint. I hate to paint. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to hand this back over to KASEY.
All right.
KASEY, explain to the people at home what this does now.
All right. So most painters have a sprayer. So this, you have the gun of the sprayer. You take the head off the sprayer. Take it off. You don't need that anymore. You set it down somewhere safe so you can grab it later on.
Right.
And then you twist this onto the gun.
Onto the front of the gun.
Onto the gun. Yes, sir. I don't know why I'm doing that, but onto the onto the gun. Right, and twist it on there.
Right.
You turn your sprayer down to the lowest setting.
Right.
Your sprayer could be sitting outside or in the living room and stuff like that, wherever.
Yeah.
And then you turn it down to the lowest setting, and you screw this onto the gun. Now, I like it on the interiors. So this comes off, right, and then you have a hook right here because you no longer have a work pot with you. You can set it down.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and then so we have orifices that goes into here. If you want stain, a thinner product, but I don't typically use them on interiors. But with stain, you can't. So
Okay.
that's another attachment.
So this can carry a water base, oil base, and a stain base.
Yes. Right now, I've got one of them in a oil-based primer on one of my jobs. Just to check it out, and it's a thicker product. So once you have that on there, you screw this back on, and then since your sprayer is in the lowest setting, you bump the trigger instead of squeezing the trigger.
Just so.
Yes. Yeah. Once you see it go through the hose,
Yeah.
right, you stop about right here. And then you put your bristles on the wall and you bump the trigger instead of squeezing the trigger. So you just bump it and then it comes out when you're ready. So if I start in the corner of a wall, I don't have to dip. I just bump the trigger. If I start on top of a door frame, I'll come down the door frame.
Yeah.
Bump the trigger, hit the baseboard, come through the baseboard, bump the trigger, come back to the other corner, and never carry a work pot with me. Now, work pot is, a pot full of paint. Now, painters don't carry a full gallon. They only carry that much.
Yes.
Right? They don't want to hurt their hands or whatever, and you're carrying a work pot with you all day. And then so once you run out of that, you got to refill. Go back to the bucket, the 5-gallon bucket, pour up. And then so when you dip a brush into a gallon bucket, from the gallon to the wall, you drip. Right?
I was going to say, now does it drip out of the tip like?
You could over push it and then it oozes out or whatever, but if you stop pushing the trigger, then it doesn't keep flowing.
Now, does your sprayer sit on your side?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's nearly every sprayer out there has a hook on it,
Yes.
so you can hook it to your belt loop.
Yep.
Right, and you can bump it with your thumb whenever you need it.
Just up.
Yep, just a regular bump, not a squeeze. Because if you squeeze, you have more coming out.
Oh, then it's going to be all over.
Yeah. So there's the learning curve to it, but I'm an avid painter and I haven't dipped at least 6 months.
So my question is how long have you been painting?
I've been painting since I was 17.
So 10 years?
Yes, longer than that. I'm 47 now.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I've not really filled out an application since I was 17. I've been a painter ever since.
Wow.
And I like it. I enjoy what I do.
Painting is patience.
Yeah, I should be a doctor, so I have so much patience.
Right. I mean, to me, I get through half a room. I'm like, I'm done with this crap. There's no way that I can.
Yeah. Some people say painting's easy. Anybody can be a painter or whatever. But
no.
Yeah. When you start climbing up ladders, and like a couple of days ago, I was on a 40-foot leaning against a roof, and then 20 more feet on top of that.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So, and I had the brush up there with me. right?
Okay.
Doing an eave or doing a doghouse dormer or whatever. And I never carried a work pot with me. I just carried the.
That is.
And normal houses, you have to have a sprayer anyway.
Yeah.
So you're carrying the whole thing with you.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So it's not like you got to carry something extra. So with the work pot, you got to carry the work pot. You got to carry your brush. You got to watch out for the drips. You got to watch out for the messes, spilling the bucket, cleaning up.
I bet you're one of those guys that can cut around trim without tape.
I'm nearly blindfolded.
Me, I've got blue tape or whatever that green tape. I got it everywhere. And then I'm like, I'm done. I'm proud of myself. Look at what I did. And then I'm like, oh crap, I've got to take tape off. And that'll never come off.
Yeah,
because it's been on there for 2 days.
Yeah, you got to cut it first. But the only time I'll use tape is taping up the baseboard or taping up stuff we don't want anything on.
So where'd the idea come from?
Just like I was saying, I carrying a work pot with me. There's got to be a better way, and especially painting rough sawn material where you only travel this much.
Yeah,
and you dip and travel small amount and stuff like that. And what really got me is Sherwin-Williams had an expo. They were demonstrating their new stuff, and they had, I think it was Titan or Graco. Somebody was outside, and I told them, "Hey, what you need is a brush to where you don't have to dip." And they laughed at me, and they said, "Yeah, that's funny. Go ahead, go on." They dismissed me like I was nothing. You know? And I was like, "Okay, all right. Well, there's my goal."
That was your goal. Now, so you actually have. I want to show this.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have a patent on this. So let's go to my camera real quick. There we go. You actually have a patent on this, so it's not like you went going, "Yeah, I'll just do this and let everybody." Literally, it's the patent award. It's like 66604. Oh my lord! And P43. That's your patent.
Yes, sir.
So this is not like someone can run out and go do this.
No, I hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah.
and so it literally feeds to the top.
Yes.
Goes to the bottom.
And then there's a tube that comes out right here, right near the tip. We're focusing in on a 3-inch brush. We're gonna see how that goes.
Okay.
And then in the patent, we cover a 4-inch and a 5-inch block brush.
You thought ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And you could hook the extension wand up to it and stuff like that. But we haven't gotten there yet. We wanted to see how
the first one goes on. You know,
yes, sir. Yeah.
Crawl before you run.
That's right. Yes, sir. And there's enough control in it. So we met at the expo, right?
Yes.
And I don't know if you saw so I got a little board at the expo and I did a painting.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Which I still have it. So there's enough control in it to do a painting like Bob Ross. You know?
Okay. Oh yes, you were showing me that.
Yeah. Yes. So when you're sitting there and you just want something to do at the expo, you might as well just do something.
Well, we've got a video. Yeah, we're gonna play the video real quick. Let everybody at home see the video, and then we'll come back after that.
Yes, sir.
Sound good?
Yes,
All right,
sir.
roll that video there, buddy.
Introducing the best brush. It's the one and only paintbrush that you don't have to dip or carry a bucket of paint with you and have a chance to make a mess by spilling paint. Created by painter and inventor KASEY Best. With this new patented technology, we're changing the face of a paintbrush one stroke at a time. And it's so easy to use. Unscrew the head of any spray gun, Graco, or Titan screw on the brass fitting. Turn down the pressure of the sprayer to the lowest setting so that the sprayer still pushes out paint. Screw in the patented Best brush. Push the trigger of the gun and watch the paint travel through the tube, and stop squeezing the trigger before the paint reaches the brush. And now you're ready to paint. Put the bristles on the surface and pump the trigger until the paint comes out. Then move the brush as needed. Now you're painting, and you've kicked the bucket. The more you use this tool, the easier and quicker the job will be. You never need to dip your paintbrush again with the innovative Best brush. And it's so easy to use. Kick the bucket with the revolutionary Best brush.
5, 4. That dude is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's it's kind of, I had the question already prepped because I was going to say, can you use this on decks? And you were doing a deck.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. You could also look on TikTok and stuff like that, and I've got several videos on TikTok.
okay.
and using it on the interiors above my head. The one above my head, I said something like, I've been using this brush for 2 days, and it's above my head. One color is green, and the other color is white, and I was using it in green.
Okay.
The 2-bys were in green, and the tongue and groove was in white, and it turned out really nice.
So I know some brushes are made for certain paints, like some are nylon, or some are horsehair, and some are. So is this an all around? Can use it with any type of paint?
Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. As of right now, I'm using it on an oil-based primer on this house, because it was a stained house. It had structures on it, oil-based, and it was so bad that we had to we couldn't put more stain on it after we sanded it, because it was rotting pretty bad.
Okay.
And then so every time when we sanded it, the black still came out on our stain. So then we had to put a solid primer to it.
Okay.
An oil-based primer. So right now we're using an oil-based primer. And what we're going to do after the oil-based primer is put a structures latex stain on it.
Whoa.
So it still looks like it's going to be a stained log cabin.
Right.
Kind of tricking the system on that one.
You are.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But we did a test run on it, and it looked good, and I've seen it done on concrete masonite siding. Whoa. And so that's pretty interesting how it works.
Because I was always wondering, because I personally, and I know I probably have thrown away some really good brushes, and I should not have, but I can't ever get them clean.
Oh, that's also a good question. So you clean this one, you clean out the hose just like you would the sprayer. Right. And then you unscrew the brush, and you clean the brush out just like you would any ordinary brush. So you, if you're using a latex product, you clean it out in the water, and use a wire brush, and wire brush all of it off and stuff like that.
Okay, so I didn't know to clean a brush with a wire brush.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You got to get in there.
The Home Depot guys never tell you that.
Nobody tells you that. Yeah.
No.
They'll sell you a $35 brush.
Right? All day long. They're like, this is the one you really got to have, because it's really, really good. And now I'm done with it going,
now what?
$40. And I'm going to throw this thing away. It's got to be a better way.
So this brush is it's $99, $99.99. And so you want to take care of it.
Yeah.
So if you take care of your tools, they'll last forever.
Okay.
Right. So you clean it out just like a wire brush. With a wire brush, and you make sure there's no more paint coming out.
Okay.
Once you have it done and stuff like that, you could put it either back in the bag that it comes in, or put it up. The brush that I'm using right now, I've just wrapped it in plastic, and then so no air could get to it, and I put it away. I've tested these things pretty grueling.
Yeah.
Like I've got one that's bouncing around in my truck right now.
Just to see.
Yes.
Just to see.
Throw it around, drop it. There's no trigger on it, so you can't really mess the functions up.
So I was going to say, so if you really do got to make sure it's clean, because there's is it an internal pipe? Is that what it is?
Yeah, internal tube. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so just with any new product, you got to be kind of particular with it.
Mm-hmm.
I never take the first one. I sent it back about 9 times. I want this changed, and I want this changed. This has got to be different. And then so one of the changes is more robust screws. So you could change out the bristles if you need to. So there's 4 screws. There's 2 screws here, 2 screws here. Pull this off.
Oh.
2 screws here and 2 screws in the black handle. Pull those out, and then you can disconnect it on the inside and put another bristles on it with the.
I was gonna say so.
Yeah.
So the apparatus is here, pretty much, right? That's the apparatus, but these are replaceable.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. And,
oh my God.
I've tried to think about just about every way you can mess it up, and the only way you can mess it up is not clean it out.
Don't clean it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that and depending on what you're using in it is depending on what you're going to clean the brush with.
Sure, yeah.
Whether it be water or thinner or stuff like that.
Like I said, the brush that I'm using, I'll have to clean it out with paint thinner.
Okay.
And we've got orifices that fit in the other side of it, so you can
Okay.
use it in stain and stuff like that. And then it all depends on how long you bump the trigger, if it's going to, make a mess. Or,
Well, don't bump it. Remember you said just
bump it. Yeah.
Don't squeeze it, just a little bump.
Yeah,
right?
just a little bump. Make sure you turn the sprayer down to the lowest setting, and it says on the commercial, turn it down to the lowest setting, and there's also instructions on it. And it's pretty funny what I wrote there. We've been painting the same way. Paintbrushes were used by man in proliferatic error.
Oh my God, that's a long time ago.
2.5 million years ago. So
Yeah.
we've been using paintbrushes the same way, dipping it,
Yeah. That's all it's kind of funny you come up with this, because it was about 5-6 years ago. I was on my 5th studio. I'm painting and I'm cutting, right? I let my wife roll and I'll do all the cut in. And I'm like, there's got to be a way to make this thing just feed automatically. And then, all of a sudden the rollers, you feed the rollers, and things that want to come out. Well, let me try. I've tried those. They suck.
Do they?
Oh, they're horrible, dude. And it's like, and then the one you squeeze.
Oh my goodness.
It's just, I'm like, nope.
I've never used them.
I have. I'm a gadget guy.
You love them.
I love gadgets. So
Uh-huh.
if I find something I like, I tell everybody
Sure,
about it.
sure.
This is what we're doing today.
Sure.
I found something I like, and we're telling everybody about it, right? But it's just, sometimes you get stuff and you're like, oh my God, they should have never even tried this. But this is genius.
Well, thank you.
Arm fatigue, hand fatigue. 'Cause You're right. Because what do? You carry that little bucket around. You guys, but a little bucket, you dip it in there, and then you got to get down the ladder to go get some more paint. So it's not like you're not bringing a whole gallon with you, which I've done. I mean, it's really bad. I've done it, but of course, I'm the guy that'll put freaking. I hope OSHA's not watching, but I'll take my foldable step ladder and I'll put wheels in it.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm rolling it. So I'm like, I don't want to fold
Hey,
this
that's a
thing.
good idea.
It does work. It's dangerous, but it does work. I build a dolly. I built like a floor dolly.
Yeah.
I make it a little bit longer, and I screw it down on there. But it does work. I'm just
Safety first.
so that way I'm not. Safety first. Not me. I'm the guy that walks on freaking roofs and without tethering up, stuff like that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But yeah, what a great. It's the arm fatigue that gets you.
Now
You're doing this, and then you're doing this, and then you're doing this, and they're up and you're down.
I let somebody use it, just give me some feedback on it. And this guy has a pretty good crew, pretty big crew. And he goes, I like it, but my guys, they don't like it. It kind of got me sad a little bit. I was like, why? They have to work.
Yeah.
Because you don't take a break.
Right, you're not getting down, getting your pay, smoking a cigarette, drinking beer. No drinking beer. I'm just kidding. But yeah, you're a body.
So that's where your fatigue will come in, when you just continuously brush.
You got to work now. Oh my Lord. So the average brush in a room, this probably cuts it in half.
Oh, at least, yeah. On one of my videos, I've got a guy working right next to me, and I've nearly got the whole bottom part done. Of course, he's on a ladder, but
Right.
I've got nearly the whole bottom part down by the time he gets done with one wall.
And he's doing it traditionally.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. So if I'm watching at home, where do I go to get one?
You go to the website, you can buy them online.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Strictly on your site?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to Walmart and all that.
No, not yet. I'd be in a different uniform if I.
Yeah, I understand that. And the website's a really good website. I mean, it's got a lot on there. There's the video if you want to watch the video. There's the kit. All right, so we're showing everybody home right now your website.
Okay. Yeah, and then I was told that you can't have it on an extension ladder, right? Without having like OSHA rules, 3 points of contact.
3 points contact, right?
And on one of these videos, I showed that you have all 3 points of contact on a ladder at all
2
times.
feet, one hand.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So you can hold the ladder with that same hand you have the gun in, and then just bump it with your fingers and still hold the ladder. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. The only thing you're doing is
Cut and dry.
No pun intended.
Oh, pun intended. I'm just saying, dad jokes abound. That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Brother, what a great product. And I tell you what, man, I love bringing new things to our audience, especially those guys out there that paint and love paint hate. I just, I'm be honest, I hate it. But you know, I would try this right here in a heartbeat because you know what? I'm not having to get up and down, up and down,
Yeah.
up and down. Even when I'm stooped over, you know, you're doing the cut in the baseboard on my knees, but still, I'm not getting up and I'm not getting
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and you're just down there and
Yeah.
you're getting, and you're just flowing. I can already see how this right here is absolutely a time saver.
And one of the videos I was in the basement, and it took me 7 minutes to cut the whole thing in.
What?
7 minutes to cut everything in. I had a guy rolling behind me, and we had that full basement done in 7 minutes.
Dang.
We timed it just because.
Just because
Yeah. Like I said, I get bored easy.
I get bored easy. Oh my gosh. So now it's but so the good thing about this is you're not one of these guys that were on a couch sitting there going, oh, I could do that. And you literally are a guy that's out there doing this on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, I got painter weights on right now. It's more.
I was gonna say you came in ready to paint. I'm like,
I just came off
I
a
don't
job.
got nothing for you to paint, but okay.
So yeah.
Let's talk about the company you have.
Mhm.
So you have your own painting company.
Yes,
right?
sir. Best Improvements. Yeah.
Okay.
And LJ, and I've got a pretty good name. Sherwin Williams gives my name out quite a bit. Right now I've only got one guy. Nobody wants to work. Can't find any help.
Right.
Yeah. So we do just about everything on the job there is.
And being in L&J in Blue Ridge area, you must be bigger. Ready? You're busier than a one-arm painter. Do another joke. But I'm ching. So yeah, I mean that's probably a big area, especially if you're doing log cabins.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Like I said, we're on a log cabin when it's sunny out. When it's not sunny out, we do interior
Stuff.
Yeah, which is on top of Fort Mountain where we're working right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Beautiful view, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So I mean that's one thing that's really nice working in the mountains and stuff like that. You got different views and stuff and different places, beautiful areas.
Right. So how do people get a hold of you at your business?
Best Improvements.
Yeah.
706-669-4878. KASEY
go.
Best Improvements. If you can't do that, then Sherwin Williams knows where I'm at all the times.
Give them a call. Go, hey,
Yeah.
I need Casey, and I need tell him to bring one of his extra brushes with him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Dalton knows me in Blue Ridge. They know
So I was
me.
gonna say, how far do you travel?
Well, I don't like traveling south.
No one likes Atlanta.
No. I mean, I can make more money, sure, but I would miss so much. You
Right.
know, I still have to family time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I try not to work weekends. You know.
Well, no, you got a family.
Yeah. Leave the weekend for your family, of course.
This
Yeah.
right here makes it faster, so you don't have to.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all know about it and stuff. And they're all for it. And my wife and my daughter, they're all for it. And,
So, what does your daughter think about you going? I got something patented because it's a big deal to get a patent.
yeah.
People don't realize. I mean, it is a very big deal to get a patent because there's so many ideas that flow in and out of that patent office on a daily
Yes.
basis,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm always in awe of anybody that's got something that's gone to the patent office and got a patent for it because it's a big deal.
Oh yeah, there was a scare. Well, to get back to her story, she loves it. She's very impressed with it and stuff.
Yeah.
She'll tell all her teachers and friends or whatever. And but I had a pretty big scare that the patent office came back and said we're not going to be able to do it. Yeah. Oh man, it was pretty emotional for about 3 months, and my patent attorney, which is out of state, he mailed me and said it's going to happen. We'll fight for you. It's going to happen. The other person had a trigger on it, and I said that person's never painted before because try to clean something out with a trigger.
Right.
You drop it, it's ruined.
Yep.
Get it in paint, it's ruined. So they allowed the patent to go through, and that was a load off. Oh my goodness, that was.
That is kind of scary.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You get
so-
all. I mean, it's not like something. It's not like you're going to go to the patent in 5 days. You're going to go, oh yeah, you're approved. It is a long process, right?
Yes, yeah. I've been working on this thing for about 8 years now. And
8
years.
years.
Not my wife was the first one to narrate the first video of it.
Video of it, right?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But that one I made in Lowe's parking lot.
Oh my God. A little drill, got some tubes stuck down in there. It's gonna work. I'm telling you, it's gonna work.
Oh yeah, you got those naysayers. That'll never work. That'll never
Oh,
work.
what are you doing? You're goofy. No,
Yeah,
just keep watching. Just keep watching. So let's remind everybody home where they can go get this wonderful tool.
Yeah, yourbestbrush.com.
Okay.
You go on there and we'll mail it to you. In 3 days shipping. Yes. Yeah, the shipping and handling is included in the price and on the website. Yourbestbrush.com.
Yourbestbrush.com.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a time saver for you. And you know what? You're a good old local boy, which I love. Absolutely love, right? You come up with an idea. You saw a need, you filled a need.
Yes, sir.
Because there's a ton of us that sit there and go, there's got to be a better way.
There's got to be.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, make sure, you know what, if you like supporting the local guys, which I absolutely love, I don't want to, if I can never go to a box store again in my lifetime, I'm good with that. We've shown his information. We've showed you how it worked. You've heard it from the man himself. He's not just some guy that didn't know what he was doing. He actually does this for a living. He finally came up with a product that just absolutely, I'm going to say, kicked ass. So there you go, the best brush. Everybody, thanks for watching this week. We'll be back next week with another Open for Business. You have a great week.